ever stop to think about how social media is ruining our lives? Although we have made many advances in technology and some good has come out of it, social media is taking over everything. Social media is ruining our lives. So how is social media ruining our lives exactly? Well, what happens when you put your phone down and a notification goes off? Do you just ignore it and just go on with your day? No, you stop to see what it was. You see if it was a text message from your friend, if it was a Twitter notification, or an Instagram notification. Well, what about when you're on Twitter and you're scrolling through your timeline and you see that everyone's tweeting the certain hashtag? Do you just ignore it and carry on with your day? No, you stop and search what that hashtag was to see what everyone's talking about because you want to be in the loop and you don't want to be left out. How often are we as a society actually living in the moment? We have become so dependent on social media and technology that instead of enjoying an event that is actually going on in our lives with the people that are physically around us, we turn to social media and update our status or tweet about what we are doing instead of enjoying the actual moment. How is social media ruining our lives? We have all become narcissistic egomaniacs. Narcissism is a term originated from Greek mythology, where a young boy named Narcissus falls in love with his own image reflected in a pool of water. According to Wikipedia, narcissism is the pursuit of gratification from vanity or egotistic admiration of one's own attributes. And according to Urban Dictionary, an egomaniac is a person whose ego exceeds both his intelligence and his capacity to see beyond his own personal interests. So what do these two things have to do with social media and how it's ruining our lives? Well, the fact that you have to take time out of your day to do your hair, apply your makeup, pick an outfit, and find good lighting, all to just take a perfect selfie, says a lot about how social media is not only impacting our lives, but it also says a lot about how much we care about other people's opinions of ourselves and our appearance. How is social media ruining our lives? We have become so accustomed to social media that we depend on it like a drug. But how? Well, we keep seeking the validation of other people on social media. We seek the approval of strangers to feel better about ourselves. But when we don't get that validation from others, we start to feel horrible about ourselves. In 2012, a study out of Utah Valley University found that many people feel depressed after checking their Facebook account. The study interviewed 425 students and found correlations between the amount of time people spent checking Facebook and negative feelings about their own lives. Also, the University of Salford in UK also conducted a study focusing on the media's effects on self-esteem and anxiety, and reported that 50% of their 289 participants said that the use of social networks like Facebook and Twitter actually made their lives worse. So, how is social media ruining our lives? We start depending on how many likes we get on our pictures, or how many retweets and favorites our tweets get, and we start to associate our self-worth with how many likes we get. But then when we start getting less likes, we begin to think of ourselves as unworthy. We have also become accustomed to comparing our lives with the lives of other people on social media. There are lifestyle accounts on Twitter and Instagram that post pictures of what seem to be their life, but in reality is a setup photo with a lot of planning in advance, with a lot of editing and a lot of timing done. People that log on to social media and see these kinds of pictures assume that these are the people that are living their good life. They also think that their perfect lives do not compare to their lives in the moment. They think that these people are living perfect lives with flawless amounts of makeup and endless amounts of good selfie lighting. But when people also view these pictures of people traveling around the world and eating expensive looking food and having a good time in many different places, they start to compare themselves and their lives with these accounts. The problem with these accounts are that they aren't a realistic representation of how their actual lives are at the moment. A girl named Asina O'Neill was an Australian Instagram model who began to post selfies of herself. And when she became more popular, she started to post more photos. And the more photos that she posted, the more likes she got. So she became addicted to actually posting more photos of herself on social media. The problem with this was that the more photos she posted, the more attention she got. And with all this attention that she got, she became depressed and self-conscious about her body and her life because she felt that her life, the photos that she was putting about her life on social media, wasn't her actual life in the real world, and she became conscious of what she was doing and how much time she was spending on social media.
I feel so grateful that this is being spread, that this is actually getting out there. That young people can find out the reality behind the perfect Instagram life, and that is not real, it is not inspirational. Real people matter, real, genuine change. Focus on that, focus on individuality. That's all that matters.
Social media is also changing the way we interact with one another and how we find information about people that we have actually never met. That's right, internet stalking. As many of you may not want to admit, we have all stalked someone on social media before, at least once or twice in our lives. But still, social media has changed the way that we interact with other people. We can now find out someone's birthday to what they have gotten to eat last night without even communicating with them. Social media has gotten in the way to our face-to-face interactions with other people. We rely so heavily on communicating through text and social media platforms that we don't even think about meeting up with that person in real life and talking about what's going on offline. So if there's anything I want you to take out from this video, is that as much as you want to try and deny it, social media is actually ruining our lives, and in a very big way. If we do not control the amount of time we spend on social media, we will start to spiral into a world where our validation only comes from people who we don't even know online. We will start to care more about what's going on in other people's lives who we don't even know than the people in our actual lives. Social media is a useful tool to occasionally use, but we cannot let it consume and take over our lives.